What's going on, my peoples? I go by the name The Sorcerer. And my next reading I'll be doing what's going to happen in your next relationship. If it resonates, I hope it helps. If not, send it back to the universe. Energy is fluid. We keep on shining and we stay rising. Let's see what the energy's saying. I'm going to do a little spread and see what's going on. I hope people are feeling the love. And just remember, if you don't feel the love, I love you. I'm just saying. See what your next relationship is about. Two. Three. Let's get some clarifiers. See what the next relationship is saying. Okay, let's see what's going on. Interesting. Okay. I'm going to start with this cards. And I'll say that there's an essence of, in my intuition, there's an essence of you guys perhaps knowing each other. I see a connection of the pair of you, of seeing each other through social media, perhaps looking at each other's stories, perhaps knowing of each other through friends of a friend within a circle. And this current situation has happened, it's going to happen in the process of you guys just letting it organically happen, and you guys just have to wait during this current time. I guess there are situations where I'm going to explain within these readings which will resonate to some people. I feel like in the current spaces that you do see them from a social media point of view, but what they're not showing behind the scenes is that they're going through a situation themselves. I see it from a sort of situationship that they're going through, or a current relationship, and that could be in a situation where they are being manipulated, cheated on, and sort of misdirected. So when I mean that you guys have to wait, it's a case of you just waiting for that process to end in terms of that cycle. And it's a case of you being more emotionally in control of the situation. So being emotionally in control of yourself, and just bide by and be patient. You know, it's about keeping your emotions cool during this current time. And because the energy that I'm picking up from that significant person that's in this relationship is that their processes have to sort of end that current cycle that they're in, because they're going through like their thoughts of being irrational, emotional, and in terms of you connecting in this current time, it's not the right time. However, there is a big potential between the pair of you in terms of a connection that's going to hold weight, a sense of cohesion, a sense of love, a sense of care, a sense of togetherness between the pair of you with the Four of Wands, and you guys are divinely protected. As you can see, you got 4 wands, but as you can see, it's 1111, which is a master angel number, and it's about protection. And all of this is kind of like things happen to those, good things happen to those who wait. And I really believe that, because you've got the King of Swords in reverse, and it's uncovering their current situation as something that's not them, not their authentic selves at this current time. And it's in that phase where you just have to just bide your time, because it's the process of them learning through that situation and understanding that patience is the key, because they will have to go through their own cycle of, you know, self-love, learning, and going through, you know, their trials and tribulations. But once they go through that and go past that situation, I do see, you know, the desire for them to look at you with them wanting you. You know, I see this happening around the times of, through my intuition, Leo season, because you've got the Strength card, which is for me, which I know it's the Leo card, you know, and I believe it's going to happen around that time, or possibly you'll be seeing a Leo. But it's a case of you understanding that there is still old energy, and they can't pour old blood into new energy, with i.e. your relationship. You know, it's a case of waiting. It is a case of waiting for your time, as you can see with the 9 of Wands. But as I said, you know, having that sense of patience, you know, it's a virtue, but it's a fantastic virtue to wait for. And as I said before, it's about you having the compassion and you having the understanding that, and at this current time, it's also protecting your energy. When's the right time to have that energy exchange with that person, you know? Because you're going to be pouring your emotions, but it has to be in the right timing. Not in your timing, but in divine's timing, you know? Going forwards, I see them uncovering some energy of, like, the energy that I'm picking up is that you're also going to see news of what's going on in their lives, you know. With the 3 of Pentacles, which is going to be about news, knowing about a certain thing that's going to happen, you know, that could be through social media, that could be through word of mouth, and you've got the 7 of Swords, as you can see, which is they're going to uncover some mischief, unfortunately, some underhandedness, some foul play, not from their end, but from their person that they're involved in. And that's going to trigger a 9 of Swords, which is basically the next step before the Tower moment, you know. And it's a case of them basically being a little bit demotivated during this time, you know. It is that case of them feeling a bit demoted with the Magician in the sort of like reverse position, where it's kind of like, why always me, sort of like that victim, you know, feeling, that victim mentality. But I see that as a temporary change, because once you trigger a Tower moment, you get that fast energy of change, and they'll have to go through their cycle. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. That could just be a sense where they will have to uncover their own truths, or their recent situation. You know, it will change the way they are in terms of who they are, you know. And It's a case of you understanding that they have got to let go of certain situations, such as their previous relationships, perhaps their idea of what relationships are due to their toxic experiences that they may be going through. And that's just you having to be patient, you know? It's a case of you showing grace in that time and not for you to react during this time. And you looking from afar, you looking from afar like the eagle, and understanding that, you know, I see what's going on, but it's not the right time. But when it's the right time, let's express our feelings. Let's talk. The final card that I see the end of a cycle with them in respect of their situation. And this is for clarification. Once there's the ending of a cycle, there'll be a new cycle. And this is me telling you guys, as you can see, I don't know if you can see it properly, but you've got the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is basically a reconnection. A connection between both of you to come together. And it'll be that sense of connection where there's going to be a sort of like feeling a type of way of feelings. And I think you should express your feelings. But that's after you feel like they're in the clear of having to deal with a toxic relationship. And this is where you're going to take your action as the Page of Swords, you know. And I just say, my advice is to keep it light, keep it cool, keep it chilled. You know, what they've had before was very, very heavy. But you should just keep it fun, keep it fresh, keep it a light energy, you know. Because it's definitely, it's definitely the ending of a cycle, as you can see, to start a new one. And for me, it's just, again, all you want to do is not add another sword into their life, rather than alleviate the pain and take the swords out, you know. And it's all about you basically finding ways to be creative with the Queen of Wands. Be an innovator. Find ways to cheer that person up. Go out on dates. Find ways to basically have or give that person an experience that they've never had before. Perhaps even just being nice. Like, perhaps just being a lovely human being. And they'll just see it for what it is. But for me, it's just a case of that freshness, that lovely start, that joy, that amazingness, as I'm saying. And for me, it's with the final cards that I'm going to be pulling out. You've got the Two of Swords, and it's all about, as you can see, it's all about choices. And if this is what you want, you're going to have to be led by faith and using your intuition, you know, to make these definitive decisions. Because as you can see, the two of Swords has their eyes covered. You know, it doesn't matter if it's male or female or women, excuse me. It's more so like, it's all about you making that decision based on the intuition in your heart. Because potentially, when you take that leap of faith and you're guided by your intuition and your heart, as you can see over here, you've got the Ten of Pentacles, which is, for me, better than the Ten of Cups as it is, because you have everything. You have love, wealth, your family, you have abundance, you have freedom, you have the Tree of Life, which is a sense of completion. You know, I see things happen around the 8th month period, and that's what my intuition is telling me right now. But it could happen at any time. But if it resonates with you, the best thing to do is to keep patient and keep things fresh and let things just trust the process. Just trust the process. You've got your eye on the situation, but if you know that that person needs to go through that cycle of self-love, it's just time for you to understand that sense of emotional control. Because, you know, love is like a fart. If you force it, it'll just turn to poo. Sorcerer.
Sorcerer.